Hi there. Okay, so I'm going to go through the remainder of these photos. I'm going to start here because one of the viewers pointed out the error that I had made when I was kind of like assessing the situation with the towels in the bathroom. And maybe just in case you are just arriving and you didn't see the other part I uploaded, maybe go back and look at Sandy Hook part 1 up with the photos. It's just an investigation to go look to see how these photos look from the Adam Lanza home in Newtown. So initially when I looked through these, there was something that struck me as odd about the photos in the bathroom, and it was primarily because there was a mirror reflection involved, and just I'm on high alert. This seems to be the upstairs bathroom, the one that Adam Lanza had used. I talked in the previous video, we've seen the school shooter typical clothing. And when I looked at the bathroom, I'm looking at this hamper. Directly above the hamper, I see nothing. But it is a double closet. This isn't the door that comes into the restroom. It's a little bit confusing when you're looking at the pictures and the reflection, but this is a double door. One door opens here towards the tub, and I'm still discerning that. Hey. And so here's the tub. When we were saying it was very sterile. Just taking a look at these photos that the feds finally released from the Sandy Hook shooter, Adam Lanza. And I appreciate all the comments that were left in the part 1. I think there's some really great links that were left. So I encourage you guys to look through them and check those out. But we can see the double closet here. So looking into the closet this way, at the angle that I'm looking at this, it seems as if I should be able to see those towels in the other, because it's right here, but I went back and reviewed. I think you're right. I think you're right. I think that that was just on the other side. There's a straight shot of it in another area. It's just that this door doesn't seem like it covers all of that. It seems like there should be something seen, you know, because it's only half, but I guess that's looking into it. I'm not a photography analyst expert. I'm just looking at what you guys are looking at. So I just did the lineup, like here's a glove, here's a towel, here's a towel, and then you come down, then there's the basket, and then there's, you know, it just didn't seem like, but I saw how this goes in the reflection. So yeah, you're probably right about that. Okay, so moving on, because there's plenty of other things. I'm going to try and get through this without going over like, 30 minutes this time. So then we were looking at underneath the sink. And there was somebody else who had mentioned something about a hole in a wall. Let me go back up. It was, I think, near here. You wanted to know at what level that hole was in the wall. And there it is right there. Unfortunately, that's the picture. There's not that's all that there is. The image is a close-up of that. It looks like it's right here, which, yeah, it looks like it's right there. Would you say about 2.5 feet up, maybe? This is going into his room. Okay. I think those were the only 2 questions, really. So moving on. And this is where it gets a little bit sketchier, and we actually see the crime scene. Okay. we're going to note that there's interesting objects here. His ID. Same picture right here. Same picture that ended up being used for a large degree in a lot of the mainstream media news outlets. And I think we see this somewhere else at another point. Here we are, Adam Lanza. I mean, if you want to really depict somebody looking insane, I mean, that would be a good place to start, I would think. Lots of rooms in this house that look like they've just been storing things. Like this one, for example. I'm not exactly sure if this is like an extra bedroom because, and again, I'm not going to get into the details about, I know some of you have given me many good links saying that, you know, Adam Lanza didn't exist and it's the brother and about the dad's involvement. I don't want to get into all that. I just really want to look at the pictures in this video, in these videos, just to kind of look at the condition of the home when the feds came, allegedly, to do their investigation after finding out, lots of towels, after finding out that there was this most horrendous shooting that involved little children and teachers at the school. Just bags and stuff. I know this is going to be irritating perhaps because I'm not doing this in my PDF file folder, so one of the ways I'm going to get through this quicker is if I don't, but I want to look into it because there's lots of interesting things you'll see. It looks like stuff that was just hanging out, like ready to be, maybe gifts that were purchased to be given for Christmas. Again, this is December the 14th, 2012. Christmas is around the corner. There was a wreath outside the house, but yet there's no Christmas decorations inside the house. No sign of there being any decorating. All of this stuff here, maybe the decorations are inside the bags. You see some Christmas wrap over here. Books on the shelves, lots of boxes. This is a house that was lived in. Up until this day, everything was running smooth, on task, as normal. And we have our gun cases, our shotgun cases. The story was that Mom would take Adam to the range, and this was a hobby. This is what they did. They went to shoot. Really nothing unusual about that. More guns here. Of course, unless you're told your kid is a psychopath, and then you take them to the range and you're going shooting. You must wonder why. And, you know, Adam is, you know, apprehended at this point, and whatever he used, everything here was neat. It wasn't like it looked like it was, you know, rifled through. No pun intended. The link will be in the description box for this as well, so you can just kind of go ahead and review it at your leisure. Interesting selection of apparel in the wardrobe closets as well, I discerned. I don't know this woman's taste. And again, this is not to make judgment on someone's fashion sense or home fashion sense. This is just to look at and see what doesn't look right, you know. And it's in the details, you know. They say the devil was in the details. This is something interesting here, which I'm going to try to... I'm sorry. Yeah. Obviously, I haven't... It's easier for me to do this. I just skipped a bunch of crap. It's easier for me to do this if I don't zoom in, because it gets all off task. Right here. And more towels. Just, I don't want to go too fast because there is so much to look at. Yeah, there is. There's a lot to look at. Lots of shoes. Lots and lots of shoes. Oddly placed furniture. I'm just going back because this is where I screwed that up. We're going to take a look at that because this is what makes me think that there's some sort of yard sale going on. Were they preparing to move? Lots of bags, lots of boxes. I don't know whose room this is. This is like the, an extra room, an extra bedroom. Whose clothes could these be? Don't know. It's not a room that's lived in, though it is a bedroom. Everything is neatly placed on like the shoes and so forth. More towels hanging out. And when we get to this, I'm going to try and zoom this in without screwing this up. You see, there seems to be an insinuation of inventory, vanity set. Let me see. Like somebody was taking inventory. How much more can I blow up? Oh, this is good. 5 vases, $5. 1 suitcase, $5. 3 suitcases, $15. Vanity set. Like, what's going on here? I wonder. Were they having a yard sale? I mean, they have a lot of stuff to just suddenly be having a yard sale. This is really funny because this same exact rug here, I have at one of my businesses in the back for the office. I just noticed that now. And someone else mentioned that they had a couple of the things that are here. It just, the things that are placed in here just seem so familiar, so stock general. I mean, I don't know if anybody else is seeing that. There's a gobillion things in the world to purchase for home decor and so forth, yet I don't know. No candles in the votives. Yeah, it seems like there are. The books are interesting. Last segment I mentioned the genre of books being kind of interesting, what was being read, and likewise someone mentioned that was not by accident. How when things are staged, they're staged in such a way to tell a tale. Someone else mentioned that, yes, this is the way that it's supposed to work, right? They're supposed to, so they play their game, staging things so that people can have some sort of clue, because it's all a game. It makes me think of The Hunger Games. I don't know how many people have seen that movie, but it was a good movie. I think it was. I think it's a tale that eerily reflects I haven't inspected these. I'm going through this with you just as you're seeing them. So, and a lot of this is for time's sake too. A lot of jackets, and then a lot of off-season things, maybe like summer stuff. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason. Not that my closet's organized, but you'll see lots of clothes, and I don't know if we can determine anything from that alone. A lot of shoes. I agree. Someone had mentioned that it looks like they went into a Goodwill and just bought up a bunch of household stuff and stocked the house. Yeah. Yeah, I think I definitely agree. I might have said that in the last video, but you have some, I can't tell, if that's the gender. These all seem to be female items and household stuff. Shoes. Now, she worked at the school. These are available to people that knew her. How hush-hush is the community? Can someone even look at these who knew her and say, yeah, she used to wear that all the time. Yeah, that's hers. I'm just curious. I mean, to have any insight from someone who actually knew the Lanzas would be kind of critical eyewitness testimony, as long as it was reliable. the movies and the books and so forth. Hey, quite frankly, great channel, quite frankly. You should go over and look at them. Moonchild. It alludes to that of a psychopathic teenager, basically, as with the books and all were your typical classic textbook. Now this room is much more unorganized, and it looks like it was a catch-all for lots of things. But then, you know, were these being given up in a yard sale? I mean, do those look like things that are typically used all the time? More of the items that just seem like maybe too many things were purchased to go through the house, to stage the house. I said it the first time around towards the end. I might as well say it now. There's our central vacuum. Now they leave, you know, things left on the floor like that was just how it was. You know, left on the floor. So we don't know whose room that is. The other bedroom adjacent would seemingly be Adam Lanza's. And it starts to get creepier when we walk into Mom's bedroom. And someone actually posted some good information about the backstory, which I guess I'll divulge, said that you know, parents had been divorced. And, you know, sometimes people get divorced. They kind of stay together. And other times they're together and they might as well be divorced. Vanity Fair, just things hanging out on the floor, I find it weird. For someone who is so otherwise seemingly OCD. Of course, you know, if you know something about OCD, you kind of know that pattern of behavior is, it's like everything is organized or everything is like shit. So in some ways, this could follow that OCD pattern. People like hoarders tend to be like this at times. So okay, she's locked on her bedroom doors. Is what they're getting to. There seems like, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. I am not an expert, even a novice, on blood splatter. That said, I found it awfully peculiar to see a note, what looked like blood in the bedroom. It really didn't seem right to me. It would be hard for all these detectives, you know, for the traffic to come into this house with this color carpeting. Yeah. Most areas look like they were just vacuumed, and the other areas look like they haven't really been walked on either. So this is where we're entering into the mom's bedroom. Now remember, Adam alleged to, the report had come out to say was that he went in and shot his mom before he went to the school. So as we go into the bedroom, and they do end up, you know, of course they're doing their investigation, and they are moving certain things around, you know, because you can see later what they move around is from the bed itself. I did not zoomed in or inspected this, so I don't really know what we're going to see at this point, because the pictures I saw didn't have anything on the bed. I don't know if, it's a pretty disclaimer, I don't know if there's someone laying on the bed at this point, or if it's graphic or what. I think that this is Miss Lanza laying on the bed. And again, I haven't looked at this before. The one I seen, which we'll get to, I guess, after, has, I can't really tell by zooming in, but you'll see when all the sheets are taken off the bed. I'm going to guess now that this is supposed to be her laying on the bed. And I know some of you are probably like wanting me to zoom this into the fullest capacity to see. Yeah, this is going to be consistent with where we're going to see something left underneath all these sheets. Quasi-disturbing, they didn't etch it out. I don't know. It's too hard for me to make out, and I'm going to zoom back out of that for now. Again, that wasn't in the other selection that I was seeing. So I'm going to go down and